Hi. Today I wanted to tell you about a fabulous new read. I had the privilege of reading it earlier this spring through an advanced reader copy, and man, I loved it. And I right away thought to myself, I bet this book gets into our Battle of the Books. What's the book? It is this one. Oop, called War Stories by Gordon Korman. So good. So different than most our typical Gordon Korman stories, and I really appreciate that he went a different direction for his readers. I think some of his strongest writing has been in the last 5 years. I so enjoy him, and just knowing that he has been actively pursuing being an author and writing stories for kids since he himself was in grade 7 is astounding. So this is for first chapter Friday, and let's get to chapter 1. Marlborough, Connecticut, February 18th, 2020. The exploding artillery shells blossomed all around him, turning the dark of night into fiery orange day. The rattle of machine gun fire sliced through the endless booming, carving a spray of concrete chips from the stoop dangerously close to his combat boots. The soldier crouched in the doorway of what had once been a small bakery. Now it was just a burned-out shell, along with the rest of the French town, after days of air and artillery bombardment, mortar strikes, and sniper fire. He was separated from his unit, if there was any unit to be separated from anymore. His entire company had been cut to pieces by a panzer division as they waited in vain for their own tanks to arrive. It had been how long? 10 minutes? 15? Since he had last seen an American uniform? Not an upright one, anyway. The dead from both sides lay thick in the streets. The soldier had survived many battles in this war, but it was time to face the fact that this one might very well be his last. The flash came a split second before the explosion. The bakery disintegrated around him, collapsing into dust. At the very last instant, he hurled himself out into the street, just as the heavy wooden door frame came down. He was alive, but now he was exposed. He could feel the dozens of German fire rifles barrels drawing a bead on him. And then, hope. Rattling up the ruined street came the first of the American Shermans, late to the battle, but maybe not too late for him. The soldier leaped onto the tank, scrambling up over the tread to a precarious perch on the lumbering vehicle's side. There he hung, holding on with his left arm as he fired blindly at the German positions with his right. One by one, adversaries went down, infantrymen, machine gun nest, and the missile came in with a whistling sound, a shoulder-launched anti-tank shell. He propelled himself free just as the Sherman blew apart in a huge fireball. The explosion launched him forward toward the German line. He hit the ground, somersaulted once, and bounced up, shooting. "Trevor!" came a voice from behind him. Blam, blam, blam! The rifle kept firing, taking out enemies left, right, and center. A German bullet tore into his shoulder. It didn't slow him down. Louder this time. "Trevor!" "I'm busy!" Trevor Firestone's thumb worked like a piston on the game controller in his hands. On the screen, the soldier took shot after shot. 3 more bullets ripped into him, knocking him down to one knee. He fought on, bellowing in anger, triumph, and pain. Trevor bellowed right along with him, wrestling with the controller as if it would help destroy the enemy. Pop! For a moment, the soldier was frozen there, his face contorted with agony and heroic effort. Then the screen went dark. "What?" Trevor wheeled around to find his father leaning over the game console, the plug in his hand. "What did you do that for? I was in the middle of this amazing battle." "I think 2.5 hours of battling is enough for one day," Daniel Firestone told his son. "No!" Trevor exclaimed in true plain. "Didn't you see how many Germans I was killing? It had to be a personal best. I can't believe you pulled the plug before my progress could get saved. How am I supposed to level up now?" Daniel looked disapprovingly at his 12-year-old son. "I hope you understand that in the real world, killing isn't any kind of progress." "My guy's fighting in World War II," Trevor argued. "He's supposed to kill Nazis. That's his job. Ask Gigi. He was there." "You're right, Trev," his father replied. "Your great-grandfather fought in World War II, and I'm sure he would tell you there was nothing glamorous about what he did over there." "Are you kidding?" Trevor crowed. "He was a hero. He was awarded the Bronze Star and a medal from the French, too. He's always talking about how cool it was." "He makes it sound cool sometimes," Dad amended. "And it was an important part of history, but there's nothing cool about people killing each other." "That's not what Gigi says," Trevor insisted stubbornly. "Just ask him." His father sighed. "You can ask him yourself. He's coming for dinner tonight. He'll be here any minute." Trevor jumped up. "Why didn't you say so?" He ran to the bathroom and began washing his hands. Dad rolled his eyes. "I've been trying to pry you off that game console for more than 2 hours, but just the mention of Grandpa's name electrifies you into action." Trevor toweled off his wet hands. It was true, of course. There was just no explaining it. Gigi was Dad's grandfather, but really more like his father, because his grandparents had raised him from the time his father died. So Dad never saw Gigi as a big-time war hero. Plus, Dad was a history teacher, so he knew about war, but the only thing he ever talked about was how awful it was, and how we all had to pray that it would never happen again. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Chapter 1 is kind of long, and I don't want this to go on for a full 20 minutes. So you get the gist of how the story starts. It flips between Trevor's point of view and Gigi, great-grandfather's point of view, as they travel to France to visit the town that Gigi helped liberate. Along the way, there's a twist in the story that is there's been rumblings on social media that maybe Gigi isn't the hero that people have made him out to be. It's a fabulous book, you guys. Don't wait. Get your hands on, let's switch sides, War Stories by Korman. It is so good. You're not going to want to miss it. Bye.